Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. You guys see that thumbnail? Usyk, he got a decision to make. We heard what he had to say at the end of the fight in the ring. He wanted Fury or nothing else. But basically, he was saying he wanted undisputed. And Fury is the other piece of that puzzle. But it gets complicated. Y'all seen the thumbnail. But before we get into all that, y'all know the drill. Let's turn to. Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. I saw the thumbnail, right? Usyk has an agonizing decision to make. Fury or Wilder? Who will make the cut? Fury or Wilder will prove to be a dangerous fight for Usyk and a barn burner for us boxing fans, no matter where they hold that fight. Hell, I say take it to the Middle East. Is that where all the money at? That's where all the moolah, the all dollar shit. All three of them, take it to the Middle East. But y'all know how I do at the top of my hour. And my humblest voice ever. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, don't worry about it. You already locked in. If not, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like and share button. In other words, lean on my lazy when you step into my easy. Basically, hit the damn like button when you step into my square circle. I can be seen Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know the folks be saying 11:30 p.m. It's really 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unless I got caught up in something like last week. Got caught up and lose a lot of money. But it's all to the good now, you know. I got my AC. My dog is on the mend. But, you know, like I said, needless to say, I won't be going to no boxing events no time soon. Cause yeah, that money just flew. That money had wings. It just flew out my hand. But hey, I needed it. It was for a good cause. And y'all also know at the top of my hour, I always do a water check. Here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we advocate for 100 ounces of water per day. It doesn't matter really if it's hot or not, but especially when it's hot. We still in the summer, y'all. So person is not a big one. And 2 times out of the day that you must, and I mean absolutely must, drink your water. That's first thing in the morning before them toes hit the ground, before you get into your morning routine. Drink you 8 ounces of water. Have it on a nightstand, ready to go. Y'all know I advocate also for people to get little refrigerators put in their room. Hey, I'm telling you, it does a body good because I like cold water. I can drink room temperature water too, but I like it cold. They do not, contrary to what people think, they do not break your pockets as far as the electric bill. It doesn't really change much. As long as you ain't get a big industrial like refrigerator or a refrigerator that you put in your kitchen, don't get, I ain't telling you get that. They got little box cube looking refrigerators. I got the one that's waist high. I keep, things, it'll keep me from basically taking a trip to the kitchen. Cause when you get in the kitchen, you be like, let me go ahead and whip this up and whip that up. So it's a deterrence. If all I got is water to drink, that's what I'm gonna grab. Out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes you gotta play mind tricks with your mind. You gotta fool yourself. Sometimes to do the right thing and drink your water. We want to stay hydrated this year, right? The second time to drink water is at night before you take your final rest. You know how you get in the bed, you get under the sheets, and you took your shower for the night or something, and you turn on the TV, drink you 8 ounces of water. The American Heart Association agrees that it's good for your heart. It's a lot of reads going on at night, revamping, recharging, rebooting. You're cleaning out toxins, getting ready for the first thing in the morning, excretion. And the average person burns between 900 to 1,000 calories that night. That's more than you probably could do in a workout. So you got to get your proper rest and your proper amount of water to drink. Remember, it doesn't matter anything you're doing when you're trying to get healthy. If you ain't getting proper rest and drinking water, you're wasting time. You're absolutely wasting time. So water check, water check, water check. I'm up to my usual 10 bottles a day. I drink 8-ounce bottles of water to ensure that I finish them. Because you get them 16-ounce bottles or 20-ounce bottles or those big behind bottles. And you get to drinking and you get full real quick, or you had your fill and you set it down, you come back hours later, you ain't gonna drink that shit. So just get the 8 ounce so you can take it to the head and chug a lug that shit down, you know? Um, and so that's what we do. That's what we advocate. The average adult can drink a gallon of water a day, and that's 128 ounces for those of you who might not know. I think we all know how much a gallon is. But the formula is half your body weight in ounces of water. But let's say you weigh like 400 pounds. I don't expect you to drink 200 ounces of water. That's crazy. There is a such thing as overdosing on water too, so be careful with that. But do drink your water. Summer ain't over till September 21st, I believe. So stay hydrated. It'll do your body good. But now let's get to that thumbnail that I put up. So y'all see that pretty picture I put up with Usyk in the middle, looking like the Joker. Talking about wait till they get a load of meat. Wait till they get a load of meat. Well, he wants Fury because he got the belt, but we don't know what the fuck Fury is up to. We don't know what he into. We don't know what he want to do. He playing games, and it's amazing to me that the boxing community let him get away with it. And I don't mean the fans, because we be complaining, we hollering, hey, can you check this motherfucker like you check everybody else? But apparently Fury can do things that nobody else can do. He can play footsies with them belts. The longer that belt ain't on the line or he lined up to fight, Mauricio making no money, and we know the almighty dollar mean everything to Mauricio Suleiman. But they let Fury get away with that. But let me welcome some folks in this building. Fire Goblin, welcome to the building, King. He said, facts. Our money is in the building. He said, Miss T, salute 100. Salute to you too, King. Fire Goblin said at Boxing Fans Talk TV. Stay independent. Only way to get true respect out here. You know it. And he said laugh out loud. Facts, 100. PGH Big Dog is in the building. What's Papa King? He said salute Queen T. Fire Goblin said Mr. Pigeon agrees. Talk about that water. Laugh out loud. He said, you look good. Thank you. I'm trying. He said, I took your advice. Just blasted 330 milliliters of bottled water down. And you know it. Exactamundo. He said, Black Heart. Yeah. Yeah, y'all, we got to drink that water. We can't be half-stepping. I mean, the stuff we can do, we must do. You know, that's easy to do. You know what I'm saying? I remember a time, y'all remember this, when we used to drink out the hose on the side of the house, or any hose for that matter. Shit, if we walked past a fire station, they had a hose out. Shit, I'm going to come over there and take a couple of sips. Anybody house back in the day, we talking in the 70s and shit, in early 80s, or, you know, tap water. But once I went overseas in the early 90s, I ain't been able to do tap water since. I can cook with it, but nowadays, you know, with Flint going on, it's like, you be leery. You know, I run my water and I look at that motherfucker. I be looking at it, see how dirty this bitch is. But you know, it might pay to go ahead, you know, because I have people soliciting me to see if I want to get my whole house put on the filter, those saltwater filters. And it might pay, you know. I don't know. Did y'all know the pure water? You can use pure water to clean anything. You don't need no solvent or no solution or nothing, like, you know, no cleaning supplies. That's how powerful water is. I was like, wow. But yeah, but you know, a lot of us got a lot of health issues stemming from being dehydrated. Dehydration could kill you too. It could damage something and start a chain reaction, start a domino effect. So this is why I always talk about water, and I say it's important. You will see a difference in your life if you start drinking water. Serious up. But let's get into this thumbnail. Like I said, so he got that decision to make, you know, and Usyk was clear. He said, hey, motherfucker, I'm putting my stank on it. Hey, motherfucker, I'm trying to fight the nigga with the belts. Nothing more, nothing less. Miss me with all that other shit. That's what I'm doing. Can't do that. Peace. I mean, that's how I heard it, y'all. I put my stank on it at the end of the fight. So then you have Tyson Fury out here for the longest since him and Deontay fought last year. I'm retired. No, I'm not. I'm retired. No, I'm not. I'm retired. No, I'm not. The whole purpose of him fighting Dillian White, not that he wanted to, he probably felt like he could beat Dillian easy, but I don't think he wanted to fight Dillian. You can't hit Tyson Fury up with no Mandos. He only got one belt. You really can't rush him. He can sit on the belt for a minute. The question is Mauricio Sulaiman happy with that? Now, Mauricio Sulaiman tried to make a move at him in May. Was like, yo, won't you unass that belt? And we gonna go on and give you the Emeritus belt, which, guess what, Tyson? It'll help you for what you really trying to do. You want to keep your place in line, but you don't want to do the stuff that keeps you in line. Like, you don't want to participate. You want to be shelved, sit in the background, and fight when you want to fight. Tyson he's one of them people that if he was a kid, he'd be one of them kids that have a problem with authority. You know, like, you know, you just can't tell him what to do. He don't like to be told what to do, how to do it, when to do it. He like to move in his own time, you know, and do his own thing. And that's cool if that's how you feel, but you're not in that kind of business that allows for that. You ain't the only one who want to hold that belt. But, Mauricio shot him with that. It was supposed to be like mid-May sometime. They was going to take the belt. They was going to unass it from him, give him the Emeritus. And the Emeritus belt meant that whenever he decided to come off retirement, he first dibs. How cool is that for him? Because that's what he wants. That's why he holding on to the belt. He knows if he dropped that belt, he don't get none of that. He out of the pocket. He out of the loop. So that's why he trying to hold on to that belt. And then they offer you, still hold on to it. And look at what he doing. He playing pussyfoot. He trying to be real clever as if we don't see him. Ray Charles can see this shit. But they let him get away with it because he did him a solid. He dethroned the king, which was, Deontay Wilder. That's what they needed him to do. Because there was nobody else, real talk, that could do that. So, any man do, and Tyson Fury was the man. I don't think they like him that much. I don't think that they representative of their belts. I think if they had a choice, they have another person that could represent the belts well and they could be proud of, like a Usyk or something. But they need to get Deontay out the way because they didn't want him to have the belts. And you got to ask the powers that be, why did they want? But they can't deny that Deontay Wilder is a cash cow. He put asses in the seat. He like E.F. Hutton. You give him that title. When he talk, everybody listens. You know what I'm saying? So, in light of that, let's bring you up to speed on this belt situation. So we know that AJ and Usyk just fought. We know AJ threw a full-grown man, 200-pound tantrum after he lost that. Usyk looking at him sideways. Man, Usyk got nerves of steel, boy, don't he? He got patience of I don't know what. He got some good-ass patience. Because I think some other people would have reacted differently, like, what? Because he was throwing the hissy fit. He was off the chain. You could almost accuse him of being crazy. So, they lost. Now what's next? Train let Usyk out to go do the rematch. They went over there and made $75 million a piece. That's right, that's $75 million a piece. That's the upfront money. That's guaranteed. 60-40 split. Where do Miss C get this info? Google it. I ain't pulling it out my ass. Y'all can Google it. And I might be a little perturbed that the Middle East ain't really fan friendly to women and all this stuff. Like a regular just fan, I'm sure you traveling with one of the fighters or you travel with the big wigs, you have no problem. But as an average female fan, now ain't the place for us to go as women. And I was kind of perturbed about that shit. I was like, fuck them. I ain't participating in no pay-per-views from over there. I ain't, fuck that shit. But guess what? I'm a woman of a particular age and I can change my mind. And my Wendy Williams voice. Hey, they put the fight on at a time where it was reasonable for us to watch. Wasn't even late in the evening. It was in the afternoon. So no harm, no foul there. And they got the big bucks. Can't argue with the money. Because I do favor all fighters, whether I like you or not, getting their just reward is fair and getting that ring and put on the show for us. That's a lot. The average person cannot do that, don't have that kind of time. So we got to commend them for putting in that work and getting in that ring no matter what level they at as a boxer. So I do believe that they should get paid, and they should get paid handsomely, because what they going through, you never know if it's the last thing they do. So make it worth their while, please. $75 million a piece. Oh my goodness. Did y'all know that? Oh my goodness. I'll be good. I don't gotta get Floyd money. 75 and AJ makes close to that. I don't even know his network. Man, sometimes you gotta stop and be appreciative. That's why a lot of people didn't understand his tantrum. That's what he was doing, throwing the tantrum. Lil Herc, he said, y'all check out my new video of Blair Cobbs letting hands fly. Hope y'all dig it. Cool beans. Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. Lil Herc, hit that subscribe button and that like button. First time seeing you. Knockdown 305. Salute Miss T. Salute to you too, King. I think you've been here before, but if not, y'all hit that subscribe button. Hook a sister up. You know, get on up. Stay on the scene. Anyway, Tyson Fury sets his own deadline. Can you believe the nerves of this dude? Nerves of steel. He sets his own deadline. A 7-day deadline for Bob Arum, Frank Warren, or whomever putting up the moolah to pay him $500 million to fight Usyk. Now, y'all remember when he said this back there in the spring / beginning of summer, and everybody's like, oh, Tyson's just talking. He's just talking bullshit. He meant that shit. And watch how he stick to it. Watch how hard he stick to that shit. And I said yesterday, I'm going to keep saying, watch how they capitulate and pay him. They going to find a way to pay this man $500 million. Now, that's like between 5 and 7 fights that he have had, you know, to pay him that much. He wants out, y'all. He wants out, but he wants his last hurrah to be, you know, undisputed. He wants those belts. And then he gonna bow out, but he needs that big payday because he don't want to defend none of them belts. He don't even want to defend the one he got. Shit, that's a record for him. He got one title defense with the belt. That's a motherfucking record when he fought Dillian White. Because he don't ever do that. He don't defend no titles. He don't care about benchmarks that we may have or whatever. He making his own benchmark. Y'all got to call him lineal. Y'all got to call him undefeated. Y'all got to call him the best. That's all he wanted. Boxers in general are egotistical and conceited by nature, and you have to be. I think it comes with the job. But some people take it a little too far. Your man Tyson Fury is one of them. Takes it a little too far. Knockdown says soft water system is awesome. Oh yeah, I want to try it because you know what? A lot of people lose hair because of the water that come out your faucets and your showers and stuff. That, you know, chlorine is not good for you. I mean, but it's necessary. We mess with a lot of things that are like poisonous to us, but in small dosages don't do anything. But in a long period of time, I do think they wear and tear on us. That's a good point, Knockdown. Because chlorine, bromine, all of that stuff is in water. I'm allergic to both of them. I gotta take a shower every day. You know what I'm saying? So over time, what you think gonna happen to me? But it ain't just happening to me. My body is the type, because I have autoimmune disorders. My body just let me know right away. We don't like this shit. I mean, hey, get off that. You stop that. We don't like that. Whereas some people's bodies don't tell them shit till they get older, and then people attribute issues with age, and it's not always about the age. What else? You got fluoride. Fluoride is poisonous, but it's in every toothpaste. And we all lap it up, right? In small doses, no. Apples got cyanide pills. Well, not pills, but seeds. Seeds are made from cyanide. Cyanide is poisonous, but not in that dose. Hopefully you're not eating apple seeds. But apples are good for you. So yeah, I one day may get the soft water system. Also want to get what you call those panels? Solar panels. I want to do that. He said, just subscribe. This live is dope. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So getting back to Tyson Fury, he gave them a deadline to September 1st. Now, you know what's ironic about this deadline? It's from the date of the 24th to the 1st of September. He's under a deadline. Right now, Tyson Fury is under a deadline till Friday, August 26th. And he has to put in writing to the WBC what he gonna do. Is he gonna stay or is he gonna go? Is he retiring or not? He has to submit that in writing by close of business the 26th of August, which is Friday. And he comes up with a deadline for September 1st. Then let me show y'all how much favor this dude get. And you have to sit there and ask the question, why? Why does he get this favor? What is it about him? You wouldn't let Terrence do this shit. You wouldn't let Earl do this shit. You wouldn't let, no, just name a fighter. Tyson Fury gets away with it. The longer he sit on that belt, the longer Mauricio ain't making no money. You know Mauricio wanted to be a part of that shit. $75 million a piece. Y'all marinate on that. $75 million. AJ got it. Usyk got it. This is a guarantee. You don't think Mauricio wanted in on that? Mauricio didn't get to play in the reindeer games on that one. Why? Because big, nasty ass, boyknick looking Tyson Fury is sitting on the WBC belt. He can't make no money. So now he pressed. Now look what's going to become the mecca of boxing. It's going to be the Middle East. At first I had a problem with it because it ain't fan friendly for females, the Middle East. But you know what? Hey, that almighty dollar. Hey, I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it. I don't expect no young fighter to be chasing the almighty dollar on the level that these elite fighters are, or, you know, people going at the tail end of their career are. Because, you know, that's an easy way for me to not pay no attention to you as an up-and-coming boxer. Yeah, I'm just one person, but I'm sure I ain't the only person that feel that way. You should be trying to plant your flag. And then, Coach, I got a saying. I tell my kids this all the time. Telling you guys this. Work first, play second. That's the best advice that you can give somebody that's out there trying to make it happen. Put something together. Work first, play second. Al Money said, knock down 305. You know it. He knocked down, said Al Money was popping, fam. But the nerve of Tyson Fury to put his own deadline. He said, oh, y'all give me a deadline. I'll raise you one. I'm going to give y'all a deadline. Who going to bend? Y'all need to watch this. We talking a week. Pay attention to details. Y'all need to watch this. Who going to bend? I guarantee you they going to bend to his boink nigga ass. Great News Saunders is in the building with Poppy King. He said, what up, though? To my girl, the queen, Miss T. What up, though, panel and chat? Our money's like Great News 100. So we going to see. Because these deadlines overlap each other. Friday is Tyson's with the WBC. All Tyson is saying, because this is how he acted. All I'm asking for is, I know everybody want to see me and Usyk get it in for undisputed. All I'm saying is, pay me $500 million. That's his stipulation, and he not bending on it. So to all them people that said Tyson Fury just crazy, he talking crazy, nah, that's bullshit. Cause y'all just don't want to admit that dude catch favor. And then you got to ask, why do he catch favor? What kind of non-good Samaritan this motherfucker is where he catching favor? What does he do in the sport of boxing, in sports period, to make you say, man, send this dude to Olive Branch. Let's give him favor. He's the good guy. Who? Not a Tyson Fury. But watch how they been to him. If Tyson Fury fight this fight, trust and believe me, they gave him the $500 million. They don't want to put it on out there on Front Street because they don't want nobody to be like, look what the fuck you doing. Don't tell me no more about you ain't got no money. And Bob Arum, we watching you close. Because you ain't never make $500 million off of Tyson Fury. So I want to see, why would you give it to him? Because you going to give it to him. You going to give it to him because that's just how you are. You're going to give it to him. Now, can they get, maybe a third or a fourth of that if they take it to the Middle East? Yeah. But they going to give him that money. Y'all got to think about the man you dealing with. We're going to see who bends first. Now, Wilder has weighed in on the situation. Wilder has claimed he would like to fight Usyk as well. The competition of it all has angered Fury. Just a mere competition. Wilder and Fury was such a tremendous fight for both of those guys. Fury don't want it no more. You remember he was kicking and screaming and crying just to get to the trilogy. He does not want to fight Deontay Wilder ever again. He don't. And now Wilder looking like his old self, taking all that weight off him and shit. Which he wasn't fat, but that's not him. He didn't need to be that bulky. I think Wilder could beat probably every heavyweight. Still the Fury won. It's still questionable for me with the first and third fight. But the books say Fury won 2 fights and it was a draw. Fury don't want to ever have to go through that again. This is why he immediately started saying, I'm retired. He saw the sense in fighting Dillian because then you can't hit him with no Mandos and strip his belt neither. But the nigga ain't fight. Should be able to strip the belt. You strip it from other people for lesser things. We gonna see what you do, Mauricio. My eyes is on your Mr. Cantoon looking ass hard. I'm gonna see what you do. If you don't do what you say, this will be the second time. This motherfucker Fury is playing chess with their ass. Martin Suleiman just came out and said, hey, I'm chilling. Y'all give him the Friday. He got to Friday to write me and whoop de whoop de whoop. And Fury said, oh, I see you won and I raise you. Y'all got to September 1st. The thought of it makes him want to retire. The thought of Fury having to do something he don't want to do makes him want to retire. He don't want to fight Wilder. He don't want to waste his time with people who he feel is insignificant, who don't have a belt. He don't want to really be a boxer. He want the money and he want the fame and glory. He want the right to have the bragging rights. That's where all of his retirement mambo jumbo stems from. He ain't fooling me. I don't know who he's fooling, but he ain't fooling me. Fury wants it his way. He really don't want to fight anyone but Usyk. Why? Because Usyk got the belts. That's why he asked him for $500 million. He really believes he can beat Usyk. And when he does, if he does, because, I give a little benefit of the doubt to Usyk. But if Tyson and him were to fight and Tyson won, Tyson gonna, take all the bragging rights. He's gonna throw them belts in their face and be like, peace out. Give me my $500 million. Pay me in nickels. That's how he gonna be. And y'all know that's if you break up that 500 mil, that's 6 or 7 of his fights. I believe that's what he's thinking of. That's why he went ahead and fought White. Like I said, you can't come at him with the Mandos. And then check it out. Mauricio Suleiman, aka Mr. Canton, he knew what he was doing by ranking Wilder as number one. Well, if Wilder lost the last 2 fights, y'all heard me say this before, then why you ranking him as number one in the WBC? It's about that almighty dollar. I'm saying, Wilder, man, go get your paper. Go on over there to the Middle East. Get some of that Usyk and AJ money. Then you hear Eddie Hearn chiming in. Eddie, you do not represent Usyk. Eddie, I swear to God, he is a funny dude to me. I like Eddie in some respects, but some shit he do I can't stand. That dude act like he just automatically in charge. Talking about nerves of steel. That nigga got nerves of steel. Eddie be like, yeah, the Usyk and Fury fight. Nigga, which one of them work for you? Neither. So shut what they call the fuck up. That's what I want to tell Eddie. He does this all the time. He does it with Wilder. What Wilder should do. Wilder don't work for your ass. Never have, never will. I actually think the 4th time around with Fury and Wilder, maybe in a different location outside the States, go on over there to the Middle East. I'll say this. For that, I'll pay for it. I'll break my little protest just a little bit. I'll pay for that. If Wilder and Fury go at it in the Middle East, I'll pay for that. How about y'all? Our money Ray knew. Knocked that said the return had to be stupid. Freezing boxing said pigeon a sip. Welcome to the building, freezing boxing. Yeah, I'll do that. I will pay, because y'all know here at Box Fans Talk TV, we on strike with the PBC. But I will pay for Wilder and Fury 4. Would y'all? I sure would. Take it to the Middle East. Get that fucking Joshua and Usyk money. But right now in Wilder's career, I don't get to pick what he should be about. But I think at this point, he should be strictly about the money, the paper. That's how they carry him. Make them pay you. Pay you in nickels. The paper should be priority number 1. The belts should be priority number 2. Because we know you care about your legacy and getting those belts. So we know you ain't going to never depart from that. But shit, make it about the money too. But just Wilder's little spark of interest angered Fury. Fury going on. I'm going to quote. He said shit like, tell that dozer, I don't know what dozer mean. Somebody give me the English translation. Tell that dozer to get to the back of the queue with the rest of the losers. That's what he had to say. He also told him, don't forget, the last time we saw this bum, he spelled bomb. I don't know. The last time we saw this bum needed to get scraped off the canvas in Vegas. I kind of like this dilemma for Usyk, Wilder, and Fury. What y'all think? I kind of like it. I'm like, yeah, let's get to it. Ray New say, yes, I will pay for it. Fuck it. Hell yeah. Lil Herc said 100. See, hey, we all on this. Hey, all of us can't be wrong. We thinking the same thing. I'm like, shit, get that money, Wilder. Fucking Usyk made more money in a fight than I think Wilder ever did. If it's always about the bottom line, as me and my compadres that be on the panel say, it's always about the bottom line of the money. Then how does the AJ and Witch Collar make sense? Yeah, we know why they got the money. Okay, cool. They went to Saudi Arabia. Them motherfuckers got endless barrels of money. Cool. I get it. But people ain't just throwing away money. I think they just did. I can't say AJ ain't never made close to that, but we know Usyk never made close to that. And you see how quickly, you see how they made that fight? 50-50 on the guarantees and 60-40 on the pay-per-views back, the split. Why they can't do that with Earl and Terrence? Oh, did y'all hear any excuses about piracy when it came to them? Pay-per-view wasn't over here, but it was over there in UK. But to all the folks who did not have the zone, how did y'all watch the fight? How did y'all see it? Somebody let me know, because I honestly don't know how people who didn't have the zone watched the Usyk Joshua fight, because I know a lot of people watched it. And I know a lot of people don't have the zone. I had the zone, so I saw it for the free. Reason Boxer said, who you got, Hellenius or Wilder, and how? I always got Wilder. And the fact that Wilder has lost his weight, lost some of that muscle mass, I think he's going to be even more dangerous. I think he works with several trainers. I think he was able to get his head together. Some people say he was concussed. And, he had enough time to be off. He know what he's doing. Even if somebody would say, well, he only waiting for that big punch. But like Wilder would say, you got 12 rounds, you got to be perfect. I only got to be perfect for a second. Like if I just hit you one time, I think that Wilder can hurt him like he can hurt everybody else. Will there be boxers in the heavyweight that box better right now? Your top of the line boxers, to me, I hate giving it to Tyson Fury. He does move well. He can move and box. I've seen him pivot and do angles. I will have to say the dude can box. But I'm going to give it to Andy Ruiz. Usyk is another one. Better boxer. I think he's a better boxer than Tyson. He actually looks like a more complete fighter to me, Usyk. But Tyson got that size, and I don't know, will that be detrimental? But I have to look at that. Like, look at when we look at Tank. Everybody bigger than Tank. Tank get in there, he get the job done. What's the difference? Usyk can do it. Reginald Peters is in the building. What's poppin', King? He said, Miss T, hearts. Thank you kindly. He said, Big Al Money, what up? What up, though? So, yeah, I don't know. I got Wilder. When it comes to Wilder, it's hard for me to protest. Wilder and Fury 4, I will buy. Straight the fuck up, no hesitation. Wilder and Usyk, I will buy. Wilder and Hellenius, I'm sorry, Wilder, I'm still on protest with the PBC. I'm going to have to get it how I can get it. I got to get it how I can get it. Fair and all. Fair and unfair. I got to get it how I can get it. Because I'm on strike with the PBC. They're going to learn today. All right. But yeah, I found that interesting. But I'm only talking about this, y'all, because I want you guys to be glued in on this week. Let's see what happened Friday. I predict not a goddamn thing. Because I don't know. Tyson Fury got them by the balls. He knows something. He turn around and be like, this is why I say this dude have a problem with authority. You ain't gonna fucking put no deadline on me. I tell you what, I'm gonna put a deadline on your motherfucking ass. I don't give a care who I'm talking about. Y'all come up with it. Make it happen. Watch how they bend to his ass. So when I be saying they do what the fuck they want to do, it ain't always about the bottom line. They bite their nose off to spite their face. If they pay this man $500 million, That ain't no business fucking move to me. That ain't no, he is not worth it. You can almost explain if that was a Floyd Mayweather brings $1 billion to Vegas. The fuck is Tyson bringing? Other than his raggedy ass. And he ain't worth no $500 million. They gonna do it though. Now you gotta ask why. President said, Miss T, okay, you read that. Resident said, Miss T, don't run my dog, Big Jerry, off. I ain't ran him off. I think Jerry got some internet. Jerry know he welcome here. He know he welcome here, but you know, I gotta say what I gotta say. Jerry feel like he gotta say what he gotta say too. And I like Jerry, but sometimes when you criticize certain people, it's almost like you can't put me in the box. You can't say because I'm black, and I ain't saying Jerry's saying this, but he's actually compliant with this. Just because I'm black, I can criticize whoever. It don't mean that I'm racist or I got something against them. I don't only just like black people. There's a lot of black people that get on my goddamn nerves. My last motherfucking nerves. There's a lot of black people that I wanted to lay hands on, and I'm sure they felt that way about me in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I'm a people person. You do right, I do right. You know, attitude, respect. If you got an attitude, I got an attitude. If it's a good attitude, I got a good attitude. I lead off with good attitude, like happiness, try to, even in my worst hour. I be like, hi, how you doing? Could be going through hell. Just because I'm going through hell don't mean everybody else got to feel it. So that's how I am. But if you bringing something other than niceties back, motherfucker, you might get that bitch you ain't want to meet. Because I can do that too. I can be nice, nasty. Freezer Boxer saying, guessing you picked Wilder for all 3 Fury fights. No, the first fight, freezing, when you get knocked unconscious, I don't know how you get a draw in a fight like that. That's anybody. I don't care who we talking about. When people get knocked unconscious, the fight over. That's just my calculus. I felt that way before I even knew about Deontay Wilder. Before I even knew, I felt that way a long time ago in the 80s and the 90s. If you get knocked unconscious, fight over. And even, don't take my word for it, take Tyson Fury's word for it. He said he was knocked unconscious. Now, I was at the third fight, literally at the third fight. Even the British people that surrounded us, I was sitting in a section with all British folks. Even we all agreed he did not beat the count in the 4th round. They shrugged their shoulders. They was like, hey, but the referee didn't say nothing. I mean, as if to be like, I feel your pain, young lady, but the ref didn't call it that. And I cried. I did. I teared up. By the time I got to the lobby, I was good because I was like, God damn, what this man got to do? So in the third fight, in my opinion, if you didn't beat that count in the 4th round, you didn't win. But I'm just TT. I'm just plain old TT. My Mary J. Pass. I'm just plain old Mary. Remember that? Of course, I ain't giving no justice. Never mind that. But yeah, I mean, he didn't beat the count, so how he win? That's just my calculus. The count is 10. You didn't beat it. You got up at 17. You lost. But that's not what the ref said. So I have to accept and move on. But I don't have a problem with telling you guys, in my opinion, the first and the third fight I had Deontay winning. Don't matter about what I had. The final say was what the final say was, and I just have to accept it. I do accept it. I don't accept it like mentally, like yeah, I see it too. I see what y'all saw. No, I will never be that. I saw what I saw. I accept the fact that the powers that be call it what they call it. That's what I accept. If that explains it, Freeze, you know what I'm saying? The second fight is too controversial. You'll hardly ever hear me talk about it because I believe what I believe, people believe what they believe. It's almost like I feel like I can't count it. But it was a fight where Tyson Fury won. So I accept what the powers that be final decision is because that's what the record gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But enough about that. If y'all want to pontificate on that a little bit, drop the link in the chat. Y'all can go ahead and chime in if you want to. So, anywho, well, we all seen Lomachenko coming back to the States. A lot of combat sports folks out of the Ukraine got a reprieve. They could leave. They ain't just offer it to Usyk. They gave it to Loma, Postal, some UFC fighter they got. Whoever, they had to give it to all to make it fair. But Loma brought his whole family to the States. He's like, shit, we getting the fuck up out of here. I don't blame him. I don't want to be nowhere where they fighting either. It's just crazy. But at the same time, it's a country. So go ahead and get with immigration and go on and get your green card, Loma. But Loma is back in the States and he's due to fight October 29th this year in New York, of all places. He's due to fight somebody named Jermaine Ortiz. That's right, Jermaine Ortiz, not Jermaine. Jermaine. I've never seen it spelled that way. Shout out to that guy. He's a lightweight contender. And this is supposed to be a tune-up fight on ESPN. You mean it's not going on the app? What? Like Loma don't get that app action? What? But it's going to be on ESPN. And after that, it is expected for Loma to fight Devin Haney next. And we know that Devin got his rematch coming up October 16th. So they both fighting in October. So it ain't like one is fighting now and 3 months from now another's fighting. It's hard to coordinate the time for them to fight. They both fighting in October. This fight to meet up should be real simple, easy to make, real quick. Bob got both of them. Let's make it happen. They both got to get through their folks. True enough. And we do believe that they will, But we'll see. We'll see because Camboso's promising something else. Their fight, Cambosos and Devin Haney, going to be October 16th. It's going to be in Melbourne, Australia. So both of them tied up. Loma last fight was December 11th. So I don't know why Loma needed a tune-up, but maybe he kind of got out of whack with being in the war. I don't know if he was on the front line or anything. Because his last fight, he fought Richard Coleman December 11th, which wasn't that long ago. It's not even a year ago. Now, I agree that Loma should stay busy. I don't agree with no tune-ups, though. But if this is a busy fight, I agree because, you kind of got sidetracked. Military fighting and training is way different from combat sports. You know what I'm saying? They're not the same. Oh, damn. Get the hell out of me. Okay. Problem. And they shouldn't have no problem making the fight going forward. Now Tyson Fury ain't gonna have no problem. Lomachenko ain't gonna have no problem. I want y'all to pay attention to those things when they want to get what they want. Just pay attention. Reginald Peters said Loma was smart too. Get his whole family out. Exactamundo. Did he bring his mama and daddy though? Did he? If I was his wife, I'd be like, did you bring my mama and daddy? Oh, tight. Ray New said, my bad. What up, though? Our money, number one brother. But, we're going to see. I'm watching. Listen, I'm like an eager eye. I'm watching. It's a lot of, moving parts going on right now. I'm like, let me see. Let me see how these people move in these streets. Let me see what kind of favor they got. So we're going to see. In other news, anywho, Bivol and Zerto Ramirez. You know, they was praising Oscar De La Hoya for getting that off the ground. But they have reached an agreement. It did go to purse bid, but then it got pulled back because it actually the purse bid got avoided, to my understanding. I could be wrong, but it's a WBA that ordered a purse bid for those two fight for them two to fight. We know that Bivol's supposed to be the rematch for Canelo after Canelo handles Triple G, or Triple G handles Canelo. He was supposed to fight Bivol next, but they didn't want Bivol sitting around, so Zerto Ramirez finally gets his shot. You know, a lot of people have been avoiding him, according to Zerto. You know, he's been avoided ever since, let me see, shit. Since he was 168, he moved up to 175 just to get some opportunities, just to make something happen. And he feel like everybody just avoids him. He works on the Golden Boy, you know. But, you know, they were actually scheduled to fight last Sunday, but it was canceled. They got a new date, November 5th this year in the UAE. I'm telling you, the Middle East about to become the mecca of boxing because that's where the moolah is, the almighty dollar. And I got to make my peace with that shit, I guess. But November 5th, did somebody fight November 5th last year? Let's see. Canelo and Caleb Plant. So I guess Bivol gonna do his thug dizzle on that. We're gonna see which one of them is victorious. But if Zerto beats him, he would have did a solid for Canelo. Because why would Canelo go back and rematch him after he takes a loss? Then who's the last person Canelo gonna fight? And you know Canelo gonna get on his cherry pick. Sorry, I was. If Bivol takes a L, Canelo don't have to rematch with him. Canelo can go pick who he want to fight, which 9 times out of 10 will be somebody sorry as hell that we don't like. You feel me? So I look at it like that. Sorry for eating. That shit was good. Good. Now, recently, George Cambosa said he will retire if he doesn't beat Devin Haney. So I guess he got to get his ass ready for retirement then. Go on and do your ceremony, you know, pay for your reception and all that shit. Because you about to retire. Because Devin Haney is just going to do just that. Beat your ass. I believe it. Wholeheartedly, I believe it. Now, that would be the biggest upset or shock to me if Devin Haney go there and lose. That would be a shocker. Man, this stuff is good. Mm-mm-mm. I have no idea what I'm eating right now. Whew. Whew. Shit tastes good. It's good. So yeah, they got their rematch, and if y'all want to see George Cambosa saying this, go to Fight Hub. Shout out to them because that's where I saw it. He complained about the jab and hold that Devin was doing, and he said Devin was running around the ring. He claiming a victory already. I'm talking George. I guess that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not mad at him saying none of that because that's what you're supposed to do. And speaking of retirement, Robert Garcia has said that AJ can't be fixed. And he said this shit before they got together training. Because it make it seem like that he said this shit like right before the fight as he was training him. But I think he said this long before he took the job of training AJ. I told y'all that shit was a money grab. I told y'all that Robert Garcia don't really fuck with black folks, and you got to think about that. You know, I don't care what race you are, you got to think about places where you're inserting yourself. You got to think, am I welcome here? You have to. That's the kind of country we live in. And the beautiful thing about it, we are a melting pot. And for the most part, a lot of people, we don't care about trivial shit like that. But it's enough of them. It's enough people in the world where you gotta care about that. Sometimes your life can depend on it. But AJ got that paper that make Robert Garcia be like, you know, I told y'all. This is why I said I wouldn't have picked him. I wouldn't have. Not nothing against his skills. He trained some good champions. I'm sure, an excellent trainer. He know his shit. Nothing against Robert. I'm not even mad that Robert is exclusive to only Mexicans, in my opinion. But the shit that he's saying or have said, I don't see how this is one of the reasons why I wouldn't have never picked him. He said AJ can't be fixed. AJ, either he didn't know it, but he know it now. If he didn't know it before, if he knew it before, why you pick him? That means dude don't have no faith in you. That also can mean you're insignificant in his eyes. I mean, am I reaching here? He said this probably before AJ picked him as a trainer. I will say that. I really believe that's how it went. And if I'm wrong, I stand corrected, because I mean it was definitely before the fight. But if he said this years ago or months ago or something, and AJ still picked him, I don't understand that shit. And the rumor has it, rumor. Y'all hear me say rumor? I can't confirm or deny. Rumor has it that him and Robert won't get along. Well, shit, knucklehead, you should have known that shit before you picked him. This is why I say I wouldn't have picked him. These issues right here, I could project or would have felt like, this is going to happen. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see this shit coming. It was a money grab. Nothing more, nothing less. And if I'm wrong, tell me when Robert called out his previous trainees like that. Anybody that he was the trainer for in their corner. And I ain't saying Robert can't give you harsh criticism or he sugarcoat shit when it comes to his own. He ain't that pussyfoot, you know what I'm saying? But he don't really call folks out. It's a lot of things he could have been calling out on Bam Bam Rios. He never really said. Robert don't be trying to be, underhanded and cut his fighters and make them look crazy or say something stupid. Had no hesitation, no problem with doing that to AJ though. Because that's some underhanded shit to say. You can't be fixed. You really can't be fixed. I kept telling y'all, it was never the trainer. It was AJ. It's always been AJ. The fault lies with AJ. And AJ alone could fix his issues. Not that he couldn't fix it. Not that he didn't have the skills to fix it. He just had to want to fix it. That was the problem. Like I said, you can't even see on anybody clip that Robert did that to somebody else. And it's not the end of the world. Robert was telling the truth. But, when you insignificant to him, shit like that easily could come out of anybody's mouth. That was a bit much. Like I said, he showed how insignificant Joshua is to him. No biggie. Robert has a right to feel that way. But if I know that that's how you feel about certain groups of people, I ain't gonna fuck with you, because I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to feel that way about me or even go there with me. Period. And I don't care what race you claim. I say that for all races. You're a white person going amongst a den of none but brothers, or a den of Latinos, a den of whoever else. You gotta think about that. How significant are you to them? Because when you're insignificant, people casually and be flippantly treat you a certain way or talk about you a certain way. It might not be conducive for your career or reputation. But when you insignificant to somebody, who cares? That's the overwhelming feeling. And that's what I saw in the Robert Garcia. He should have picked somebody else or stayed with his training. That's just how I saw it. So, like I said today, y'all, I didn't have a lot, had a little bit of news, you know. I'm really like on my secret spy shit, like I'm watching. I'm being nosy. I'm watching. I'm watching to see what they gonna do with Lomachenko. I'm really gonna be watching this. Two kind of excuses they make or what they gonna do. But most of all, I'm watching to see Friday. I can't wait to Friday. Because I want to see what Mr. Cantone gonna do. AKA Mauricio Suleiman, president of WBC. I want to see what Mr. Cantone gonna do. He ain't gonna do shit. He ain't gonna do shit. He gonna capitulate. All these they want. Oh, Fury just say anything. He don't mean it. Ain't nobody stood in Fury. I know 500 because they don't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to pay attention. But Fury is not playing. You gonna pay him 500 million, and you gonna pay him in nickels. That nigga mean it. Let's see if they do it. Then come back and try to tell me about some piracy or people got it's a business. I don't want to hear that shit. You do what you fucking want to do. That's my whole thing about boxing that makes me sick. You do what you want to do. So when you don't do it for others, when you're not playing fair across the board, then I have to ask these questions like, why? Don't let it be something that's obvious. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it be something like, well, what's different about Fury and everybody else? Bob, you say you lost money with Terrence. You lose money. You ain't made 500 with Fury. But if you capitulate and give him this, because if Fury fights, he got it, y'all. That's my calculus. If he wind up fighting, he got it. I don't care what they put out to the public, that motherfucker got it. So they do what they want to do. That's the shit that make me sick. Shit, we up here, sitting up here waiting for this Spence and Crawford fight. They do what the fuck they want to do everywhere else, but then they got it. It's all complicated when it's some shit we really want to see. Or it's all complicated when you talk about certain fighters that you want to lowball and don't pay. The certain other fighters can write their ticket. George Kambosos about to get another 10 mil. You do what you fucking want to. He ain't worth it. So to them people to be like, they just don't throw away millions. They throwing it away now. Come again. But anywho, that type of shit irritates me. And in the end of the day, it ain't my pocket. But that's just something I'll be looking at, and I'm gonna be watching very, very carefully. And I will give y'all updates as they come. I was right about the Robert Garcia pick. I was right. I was straight right. Because now Robert ain't finna take no blame. Now he gonna take that money. And I don't blame Robert. Hey, shit. Pay me $7.5 million. I ain't really teaching you shit anyway. You can't be fixed. It's easy money, right? Yeah. Watch later, they gonna find out he ain't even spent much time with him and shit. He had his son training him and shit. Telling you, I better pay attention to details. But anyway, when you know better, you do better. Oh, stay tuned from a word from our sponsor. I meant to be playing that thing throughout the whole show, but I be forgetting. Um, but like I said, you guys, when you know better, you do better. I mean, that's all we can do. I just try to bring in the information and all that stuff, as best of my ability or whatever. I'm passionate about this stuff. I love boxing. It is my favorite sport, and I just wanted to do well for everybody. Everybody. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what set you came, what religion you are. I wanted to do. I want boxing to be a good sport for everybody and a fair sport. So when I see unfairness, that's how my blood get to boiling. But anywho, as I always say, when you know better, you do better, right? Anybody want to chime in? I put the link in the chat. If not, going once, going twice. Please don't forget to hit the like and share and subscribe button if you haven't already. And leave a comment. Let me know something. And hey, I'm going to get back to everybody who sent me emails about all kinds of things. Shout outs to y'all for the emails. And I'm going to have that guy come and give his testimony. I'm really, really going to get on him about that. And then you guys can hear from somebody else's mouth about what it's like to have a routine catered, specifically made for you. Something that here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we consider ourselves subject matter experts at. But anyway, when you know better, you do better. Peace.